And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Bubba and the Bloom, episode 263, your Thursday night FAAB preview, week 19 FAAB, the final week before the MLB trade deadlines. We're going to get you ready for that and much, much more. But before we get to that, you can find me on Twitter at BDintric, the podcast at Bubba Bloom Pod, and on Patreon at patreon.com/Bubba Bloom, and my co-host, as always, on Twitter at RyanBHQ. Ryan Bloomfield, how we doing, my friend?
Doing great, man. Trade deadline's off to a the stove is hot. Trade deadline's off to a good start with Josh Naylor coming up Pacific Northwest. You like to see that. Not sure why my camera is all blurry, but let's see if that gets fixed or not. Whatever. Must have yawned. Yeah, we both yawned right before we went live. So as usual, we will pick up the pace and the intensity as we go. But no, doing well, man. How are you?
Doing well. Ready for the weekend. Ready to do some other fun stuff after that. So yeah, it's good that we're almost through another week. I'm excited about that. We have week 19 FAAB, which is also good. We got the trade deadline. Hopefully we get some more big splashes, as they say, coming up here soon. But it feels like everyone's still in the feeling out process. It's almost it's not quite a middle school dance right now, but we're still in the early dance stages. It feels like for most of this.
Yeah, just because, well, yeah, so many teams are still in limbo. Are they buying? Are they selling? Are they doing both? But at least we know the Diamondbacks are sellers, and they are. We all know Eugenio Suarez is getting dealt. It sounds like they're just going to tear the whole thing down.
Yeah, so. They legit said 5 or 6 more players. I'm like, good Lord.
I know.
If you're a D-backs fan and you see that message, you just got to be thinking, what is going? But to be fair, they have a loaded farm system, so if you can kind of reload some more pieces and start planning ahead, because you got to keep up with teams like the Dodgers that have basically signed billions of dollars for years to come. So I guess you got to figure that one out without, because the Dodgers or the D-backs don't really want to spend a ton of money, it feels like.
Well, they just signed Burns to that mega contract, and you don't. That obviously hasn't turned out well.
That worked out. Yep.
But yeah. So I don't know. It's going to be fascinating. This, like you said, this is the final FAAB before the deadline. So I feel like there hasn't been a lot of movement so far this week in terms of like free agents and fantasy, but there's a lot of different ways you could handle FAAB this coming week. So a lot for us to cover, I think, that we'll get to with all 30 teams.
We will get to that shortly, but we'll start with a little bit of news and notes that we do have here, and we will start with the first big trade of the deadline, as we are mentioning earlier. Josh Naylor traded the Pacific Northwest to the Seattle Mariners. In return, the Diamondbacks received 2 prospects, left-handed Brandon Garcia and right-hander Ashton Izzy, the 13th and 16th prospect from the Mariners. As usual, no idea about prospects, but Josh Naylor going to the Mariners is obviously a big boy move.
Yeah, and that's typically how we want to cover this stuff. Like, we don't know if it's a light return or not, or honestly don't really care when we care about the fantasy impacts and what you guys should do with your rosters based on it. So yeah, like obviously Naylor is going to be like the Mariners needed to make this move. This was a position of need, and it makes a ton of sense. I mean, if you have Josh Naylor, there's nothing you can do. I will note the park factor change is going to be pretty rough. The Chase Field is 7th in terms of StatCast park factors this season only. Chase Field is the 7th most hitter friendly. I can barely talk. 7th most hitter friendly park for lefty bats. Going from there to T-Mobile, which is the 2nd to worst park for lefty bats in terms of park factors. So again, not much you can do with Naylor. You were hoping for a better location, but it is what it is. The lineup, but it's a good lineup. So like if Naylor continues to hit for a good batting average, runs RBI should be there. So not much you can do there. I think the Diamondback side of it, right, is a lot more interesting, because I think this is like you said, the beginning of many more moves. It's just one less obstacle for your guy, Adrian Del Castillo, to at least probably get the lion's share of at least DH bats, and who knows from there. So Adrian Del Castillo, we were worried about a little bit about the playing time when we talked about him last week, and I think that's not going to be a problem at all. Not just because of this move, but because Arizona is going to make more.
Yep, it's Adrian Del Castillo season. So those that grabbed him recently in FAAB, well done. I think you'll be very happy by the time the season is over between first base and DH at bats. You mentioned more moves. He's a pure hitter. He's like he's close to Ivan Herrera, the way I look at hitting catchers. He's very close to that kind of skill set, and neither one can play defense. So you got that going for him. So this works out well. So yeah, it's ADC season, as we like to say. Yeah, so reap those benefits. If you're in a one catcher league, it's probably a top 12-ish catcher the rest of the way if he gets that everyday playing time. So that's my thoughts on ADC right there.
What do you think about first base for Arizona? Because they called up, it looks like they called up Tristan English tonight.
Yep.
However, I saw this, I believe in the Discord, that Tim Tawa is playing first base at Reno. So I wonder if they're going to try and get Tim Tawa some reps at first base for a week or so and then call him up. I think Tim Tawa could be fantasy relevant if he plays, like more so than English, because of the power speed. The strikeouts are going to be there for Tim Tawa, but I like the power speed combo that he flashed. I think he's going to get some runs. So just keep an eye on that. I don't think it's stash worthy for this week in FAAB, but that could be a potential guy at first base. And then Pavin Smith, of course, is on the IL. I'm not sure when he's back, but he would obviously slot in for some first base plate appearances too.
Yep, have not seen anything on Pavin Smith recently, so that's who knows what's going on there. I'll give a nod to English though. Guys hitting for decent power, 11 home runs at AAA this year. Last year he had 16 at AAA. Dude's hit basically 280 to 320 at every stop of the minor league level. Doesn't strike out a lot at all, which is what we like to see as well from these guys. And he's 28, so he's like a career minor leaguer. That's the other part. He's an older guy. So I agree, Tawa probably gets a lot of love. They wanted him to be something earlier. They gave him some run at times, but then guys would come back from injury, and he'd get kind of the odd man out. So Tawa would be very interesting. I agree. English, I'm not counting it out just yet. Let's put it that way. I'd like to see what we get out of that, see what they can do. And heck, I said it in the Discord. I've said it elsewhere. Maybe when Suarez goes to Seattle, they get Tyler Locklear in return. Locklear has been awesome, and he deserves a fair shake at first base. That's just more than speculation. I'm just throwing those kind of scenarios out there that don't get too attached to whoever's playing first base until after August 1st.
Agreed. Good point. Good point.
All right, Felix Bautista. This one, not good. Bob is the way I'm going to put this. All I saw last night when I was doing my news and notes, and this is why I didn't put it in the news and notes article, is that Bautista was unavailable to pitch tonight. No reason given. Okay, well, sometimes they get guys days off. Maybe they minor tweak, nothing crazy. Apparently, he was getting loose with his heavy ball in the 7th inning, felt some shoulder discomfort, shut it down, straight to the IL, MRI on Friday, Ryan.
Those damn heavy balls. Don't like those.
Yep.
But yeah, we were planning on Bautista potentially. I'd mentioned him as a trade deadline candidate and to start looking at Orioles backups. And unfortunately, it's an injury that's forcing the issue. So it's interesting. Orioles beat Cleveland on Thursday 4-3. It was pretty much a straight save situation in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. Sir Anthony Dominguez came in the 8th to face Cleveland's 3-4-5. Gave up 2 hits, struck out 2, clean inning. And then Gregory Soto gets the save, struck out 2 in a clean inning there. So I don't know what, I have not seen anything from the team on what they plan to do, but at least for now, Soto has the first save. It could have just been Dominguez matched up against the heart of Cleveland's order. Could be a leverage thing, and then Yennier Cano could be a factor here as well, who's picked up a few saves for the team over the last few seasons. So I don't have that great of a read on it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say go nuts for Gregory Soto, because I think we all know how that ends, but it's a tricky one.
Yeah, and this might open up the Orioles to want to trade for a spot closer for the stretch run. Like, there's a lot of angles to this. That
I doubt it. I mean, I think they could trade like Dominguez. I mean, the Orioles are done.
They're selling, but weirder things can happen. You never know. But yeah, I want to see the MRI results, but Bautista's probably a drop. Just gonna throw it out.
That's what I was going to ask. Do we think we have a few more days to see? But I think if we get some bad news there, you gotta move on.
We're talking shoulder. We're talking about a team out of it. 2 months to go. Like, what are we
coming off a long layoff before the season? There's really no reason. So, yeah,
I feel like he's drop city on that one, but we'll get that updated for you next time around. We're going to get to it. Your Week 19 FAAB preview, as usual. Go all 30 teams, team by team, along the way, talking about some news throughout this, players to target, and much more. Ryan, what stands out to you when you're looking at the Week 19 schedule?
All right. Basically, everyone in the AL East except the Red Sox plays 7 games. So that's interesting. And then the Mariners and Rangers also play 7. That's it. So only 6 teams play 7 games next week. No 5-game weeks. Your Oakland Athletics, Sacramento Athletics are at home all week. So they get 3 against the Mariners, 3 against the D-backs, 5 righties. So we'll talk about them, but maybe some lefty bats in Sacramento could be a good play this week. Colorado, I believe it's a split for them. Yes, they are on the road at Cleveland the first half of the week, and then they host the Pittsburgh Pirates. Colorado, Pittsburgh in late July. That'll be widely attended.
Must see TV. Yes.
What about your small park? Reds are home. Yep,
5
Reds
righties.
are home for all 6. So
buckle up.
You get that, and 5 righties. Yes. So Jake Fraley's season continues.
And a horrible Braves rotation.
And a horrible Braves rotation. That one of the easiest schedules of the week belongs to the Cincinnati Reds at an 11% K- walk for the starting pitchers against them. The easiest schedule of the entire week belongs to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Look at that Rockies number.
Where's Rockies?
The K to walk for the Pirates versus the Rockies.
Oh,
you're on it,
dude. Yeah, so the Pittsburgh has the easiest schedule, 9% K- walk. But to your point, Colorado's doing a lot of heavy lifting there. The 3 starters going against Pittsburgh next weekend in Coors is Senzatella, Gomber, and I was calling Mookie Blaylock, but Brian Blaylock, something Blaylock. Coming in at a cool 4.5% K- walk next weekend. Oof. So we will talk about Pittsburgh, but yeah, they suck, but that means you have hitters that are available on waivers, and maybe you could stream from there. So that's generally what I see. There's nothing like no crazy hard schedule that pops out to me, but those are the big ones.
All righty, let's get to it. Team by team. Start with the Baltimore Orioles. One of the 7 games, like you mentioned, 4 at home versus Toronto, 3 at the Cubs, 3 lefties, 4 righties. Doesn't do much for me at all, Ryan.
Doesn't do much for me. We just talked about the Felix Bautista fallout. The only thing I have is Ryan Mountcastle.
Yes,
is coming back probably next week.
Yep.
So I don't know what that looks like. So Ryan O'Hearn, I think, is pretty much the strong side platoon there in first base. So will Mountcastle come back and be the other side of that platoon? Will O'Hearn even be on the team? What happens to Gobi Mayo? There's a lot of what ifs there. But if Ryan Mountcastle gets regular playing time, I think, even though the numbers weren't great at the beginning of the season, the skills were half decent, and I just kind of like Ryan Mountcastle. I think in a 15-teamer, he's a pretty decent add if the playing time is there for Mountcastle.
Yeah, Mountcastle was supposed to start his rehab assignment on Thursday. He's been out for a while, so I'd still say probably middle of the week sounds about right for Mountcastle. Something to keep an eye on for sure. To your Ryan O'Hearn point, he's been rumored in a lot of trades, so that could easily fix this situation. Tyler O'Neill's been battling in it. Tyler O'Neill was returned on Thursday.
What is it? General fatigue or something?
General soreness. He was out for. Yes, that's me every morning. Tyler O'Neill, get with it, buddy.
That's right. Bubba goes through that every morning. Come on.
Heck, I'm going to get out of it when I get out of this chair after doing.
You're in it now. You're generally sore now, and you're still podcasting. So why can't O'Neill play?
Yeah, I'm injured. I'm hurt. I'm not injured, as they say. So, so we'll see how that shakes out. To your point, and Adley Rutschman was supposed to start a rehab assignment this past weekend. Still has not started a rehab assignment. So that is definitely interesting. Is the way I'll put it.
Yep.
One other nugget I wanted to mention when it comes to Baltimore. We'll see how this goes with the road Rockies. Dean Kramer, I was writing him up for the matchups, and I know we kind of poo-poo on him a lot. Dean Kramer has been very good of late in a world where we were watching pitchers just get destroyed left and right since June 17th. That's why I said of late. Dean Kramer has made 6 starts. 5 out of the 6, he's allowed 1 run or less. 5 out of the 6.
Wow. Did not know that.
33 Ks and 9 walks in 36 innings. Like I said, I figured this out when I was writing my matchups today. He gets the road Rockies this weekend, so if you're in a daily league, have at it. He actually plays them on Friday, so you better get on it quickly if you like the road Rockies matchup. But just as a whole, it's Toronto this week. Toronto's obviously swinging it better, but if we're looking for streamers down the road, keep him on your radar is what I'll say. He's pitching a lot better than I think gets the credit for, is what I want to get at.
Yeah, good call. That's someone who I don't really think about much, and probably should in 15-teamers the way he's going. Didn't know the stretch was that good lately.
Yes, very, very solid. All right, let's go to the Boston Red Sox. 6 games this week, 3 at Minnesota, 3 at home versus Houston, 2 lefties and 4 righties. Marcelo Meyer left with a wrist injury after a swing on Wednesday. He was taped up or had a brace on Thursday. He doesn't think it's too bad. We know how that goes. David Hamilton got pulled from the AAA games. It seems like that would be the obvious switch. That's about all I have for now when it comes to Boston.
Yes, that's the big news. We're also still on Kyle Harrison watch, weekly Kyle Harrison watch.
You're great on Wednesday, dude. Like, where it's almost, it's not the same. It's starting to feel a little Bubba Chandler-esque. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. But no, Marcelo Mayer is the big. It definitely sounds like he's going on the IL. So will it be? So it could be Hamilton. Will Romy Gonzalez reclaim everyday playing time? Romy Gonzalez has been hitting very well again of late. Tons of power there. Started at second base on Tuesday against the lefties. So keep an eye on how the Red Sox handle second base. I think both Hamilton and Gonzalez, for different reasons. Gonzalez, if you need power, Hamilton, if you need speed, both could be pretty good pickups depending on what you need. Again, if the Red Sox decide on one player there at second base.
Agreed. I think, and the Romy takeaway could be the best part because maybe get him back out of that platoon. I think that's
exactly.
Very, very,
you can't. And that's why I was kind of down on Romy recently. Is like, yeah, he's good, but like, you can't start anybody who's on a short side platoon. So maybe that changes with Mayer out of the picture for now.
Agreed. So something to watch over the weekend because that'd be a nice fantasy pickup. Don't have anything on the pitching, but another guy I will shout out. Brian Bayo's been very good. Doesn't strike anybody out, but he's been a 3 runs or less machine. It's like if you want ratios, he's your guy. If you want strikeouts, he's not. That's the way I'll put it.
I mean, it's. I think I don't know. He gets the Dodgers on Friday. Brian Bayo.
You don't
so
do
I feel
that.
like that's your regression game. No one. Yeah, you don't do that.
But let me see if I still have that. I might still have that file up here. Again, I wrote it Brian Bayo, so it's like a broken record around here. But let me tell you something. You saw it in the Discord, WRC Plus guys on the Dodgers this past month. Not great.
They're all bad lately.
Over the last month versus righties, Dodgers are hitting 221 with an 85 WRC Plus. It's not like Murderer's Row right now.
Yeah, true.
I still don't think I trust Brian Bayo, but
that's what I was going to add. I don't trust Brian Bayo. Like, I don't think Brian Bayo's this.
Well, and Mookie Betts is supposed to miss the game. Not that it matters, might be a big thing for them.
Yeah, that might be addition by subtraction, the way Betts is.
I hope his stuff's okay. I'm not trying to downplay. He's got personal reasons, whatever he's doing. But for the Dodgers as a whole, it might be an improvement at the time. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Bayo, I see an 8% swinging strike, 39% ball, like single digit came on. It's just a lot of contact, not many strikes. So riding a good wave, but I don't think it lasts.
All righty. New York Yankees, they have 7 games this week, 4 versus Tampa, 3 at Miami. All righties on tap. So does that mean we get Ben Rice for a week of baseball? Please say yes.
That would be nice. Is he playing? Yeah, he's played 4 of the last 6. Some at first base. So maybe we get that. It's not a good week. And I've been saying this, but I feel like he's still widely over rostered. But Paul Goldschmidt, in 12 teamers on the NFBC, Paul Goldschmidt's 100% owned, which I get, but 79% started. And I don't think you can start Paul Goldschmidt next week against 7 righties. So he hasn't started over the last 2. It's been Rice at first base. So you want to look for plan Bs there. Anything else you have on the lineup?
On the lineup, no, I know where you're going with this when you said that specifically.
Yeah.
So I'll let you go there before I take it. No. Well, the thing everyone's going to look at is Luis Eel made that rehab start, but it was not good. And he got to like 67 pitches or so. So there's the Yankees have not made a definitive decision on this yet. There's a world where he takes another rehab start and comes back later in the week. There's a world he comes back for 2 steps, but that first step is limited. So just keep that in mind. And if we're talking pitch to contact guys, Luis Eel was kind of a pitch to contact guy too before he, left the building.
Yeah. I mean, I have bring up Heel because I don't really think he's that great, but someone's going to get bumped unless they go 6-man.
That's true.
So it's either Schlitz, Warren, or Stroman.
Yeah, RotoWire has Schlitz out right now.
Who would get moved? Like Schlitz, that would be disappointing for
Warren has not been good. Dude,
Warren,
Warren's been
exactly.
bad.
At first, I was like not going to include Warren, but he has not been that great lately. We all know Stroman is Stroman, so that's just something to keep an eye on. It's one of those three. I hope it's not Cam Schlittler, but it could be.
And the Yankees are rumored to be targeting the starting pitcher in the trade world. So let's see where this all
as they should.
runs.
It's tough to roll with Warren, Stroman, and even Schlitz like in a postseason run to have a rookie up there.
So yeah, Eel should be back next week for 1 or 2 starts. Keep an eye on that and the ramifications, as Ryan mentioned, to follow in that scenario, because there's a lot of options. Usually the veteran wins, so it could be a Schlitz situation. But again, like Warren, not good at all. Tampa Bay Rays, 7 games this week, 4 at the Yankees, 3 at home versus the Dodgers. 2 lefties, 5 righties, and a new starting pitcher.
A new starting pitcher, right? Because the Taj is down. I think any lefties, it's hard because I think all the lefties on the Rays are owned, but it's a really good week for lefties with the Rays because they are at Yankee Stadium and then they are at home, which is the same as Yankee Stadium, but better weather. So you've got that, and it's 5 righties that they're facing. But yeah, let's talk about Taj Bradley going down. I did not expect that.
I did and I didn't. Like I expected it like 3 weeks ago. Didn't expect it. Like he got blown up and they sent him down. But he actually put a couple of good starts together before that. So it kind of surprised me. Like, okay, here we are.
Yep.
But they did, and it makes me wonder. And they haven't said what they're going to do, but it feels like it's a Joe Boyle situation. But I think it's what we all want. What we always want is not always what happens. And it's just the Rays. Let's not forget that either. So curious.
Yeah, I have not seen it. If you haven't seen anything on it, then I certainly have not either. It does feel like everyone in fantasy is rooting for Joe Boyle to get the job, and usually that turns out to not be the case. If it is Joe Boyle, like obviously that's super attractive, but we will have to wait and see. Like Boyle, even his last, so he threw 39 pitches his last outing, 3 innings against the White Sox, 26 pitches before that, 60 pitches on July 11th, and 95 back on July 6th. Though I feel like you maybe have like 1 or 2 kind of truncated starts for Boyle if he is back in the rotation. And then they've shown the willingness to throw Boyle 90 plus pitches. So I guess length wouldn't be that big of a concern.
If he does take Taj's spot at Yankees and versus the Dodgers next week.
Oh, was that why you were? Was that guttural reaction when I was
pulled
talking?
It up. I pulled it up and I'm like, oh no.
I was like, either something with Boyle or like a trade just happened while I'm talking.
If it was a trade, I would have cut you off.
That's fair.
Yeah,
you cut me off anyway. I don't care.
So that'll be interesting. Like, I'm a big Boyle fan. Obviously, I'm not alone in that situation. I would still look to pick him up. I don't know if that's an auto start. We'll talk about that later in the 2-step period, but that's a tricky one, especially if they're truncated, to your point. That makes things really, really difficult. But like you look at the Rays situation, and if it's not Joe Boyle, like Ted saying Ian Seymour could be even less of a depth guy than Boyle is.
Be nice, Virginia Tech grad. Be nice to him.
But then, like, you're looking at the minor league system, and it's like, hey, you going Connor Siebold? Like, what are we doing here? Forrest Whitley? Like, it's not good right now. Not good in Tampa when it comes to pitching. I want to mention something on the hitting side, though, with Brandon Lau on the IL. Jose Caballero has started 2 games at second base. Hassan Kim keeps battling random injuries, which is annoying as hell. But it feels like it's going to be Taylor Walls and Jose Caballero fighting for the second base job. So see how that plays out this weekend if Kim comes back to make it more interesting.
Agreed. And fantasy-wise, we want to see Caballero and not Taylor Walls. So
exactly.
Whatever.
Exactly. All right, Toronto Blue Jays, they have 7 games this week, 4 at Baltimore, 3 at home versus Kansas City, 2 lefties and 5 righties for the surging Toronto Blue Jays, Ryan.
Surging Jays in first by 4 games. They're 4 games up on they're 18 games above 500.
Yep.
That's pretty sweet. It's a really good week for Blue Jays lefties. It's just that I don't think the Blue Jays lefties are that great. Nathan Lucas, Sloper Fido did homer tonight. So
did Lucas. Lucas is actually sneaky good.
Lucas did too.
Yeah. If
you
look, Clement hit a 420-foot bomb. If you look at Lucas, he's actually played really well for about a month month and a half. That's why he's leading off.
Yeah, and right, so not playing against lefties, but yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll buy Lucas. I'll buy Nathan Lucas as
at least in 15s for like, but he's probably already taken in 15s, honestly, because I know I've picked him up a few weeks ago in some like Olax and whatnot. But yeah, he should be getting some more love, and with the schedule he has this week, especially that first half, all righties against Baltimore, I could see some action there.
So the other thing though is Dalton Varsho's coming back on. It sounds like Monday. So, I mean, Varsho himself, obviously, if you haven't stashed Varsho, I think we talked about him last week as a stash, but he might eat into Lucas's playing time, or maybe Lucas just moves to corner.
Varsho 51% rostered in OCs. It'll be interesting. Like, I personally would say get Loperfido. Like, I know Loperfido's been hitting well too, but I get Loperfido out of the way. Stay hot, keep winning baseball games.
Yep.
You're not moving Addison Barger anywhere. That is not an option. So like this team, man, like I know you mentioned 18 or like the lineup's actually like Springer, Vladdy, Bichette, Barger, Kirk's hitting. Like that's like a stable middle of the lineup. Then you got the Loperfidos, Clement, even Will Wagner, Purdue. You could put Barger at third base and get rid of Wagner if you wanted to. That's an option too.
I just look at their like rotation though.
It's not great.
Bad.
They need to go trade for Dylan Cease.
Everyone's going to want Dylan Cease.
I only say that because he's like the biggest name available. After I said it out loud, I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna hear about this. But like, I was gonna say Charlie Morton, but at least Cease is better than, well, maybe not, but yeah.
Anything else on the Jays? No, that's all I had.
That's all I got too. All right, let's go to the AL Central. The red hot Chicago White Sox. The team has scored more runs than anybody in baseball since the All-Star break. The Chicago White Sox. Oh, yeah.
Are you serious?
No BS on you there. I can't remember the number. I saw it, and it makes sense because they blew up all over the place. Again, you want to talk WRC Plus, guys. They get a matchup on they play Shoto Imanaga on Friday, so a lefty. Over the last month, the White Sox are hitting 262 with a 224 ISO and a 121 WRC Plus versus lefties. They're hitting the baseball and hitting it well right now. They get 6 games, 3 home versus Philly, 3 at the Angels, 3 lefties, 3 righties.
Yeah,
makes it tough to stream, but good team.
Yep, it is. It is not stream against territory. No longer is, at least for now. But I don't know. Like Colson Montgomery is part of that resurgence, showing that power that we thought we'd see as a prospect. So playing some shortstop and third base, so multiple eligibility there. I still think Colson Montgomery is going to get eaten up with the plate approach, but maybe while he's hot and you're desperate for an infielder, you could go there for some power.
Yeah, 4% rostered in OCs. Maybe sit him for the first half of the week against the 2 lefties, especially the Cy Young candidate Sanchez, but pitch him against or play him against Tyler Anderson, Hendricks, and Medeiros. You could, if it is Medeiros after all, but that's a pretty sweet weekend matchup in Anaheim. Have some fun with that.
Medeiros, yeah, it's your guy.
Yeah, my guy. Yep, my guy. But so Montgomery, I think it's a great shout. Lou Bob probably will not be on this team come next week. So remember that as well. See how that shakes out. I'm always a Lennon Sosa fan. You like your Benny. But I wanted to ask you, because I've heard his name mentioned. It's definitely a more 15 team than 12 team. But a part of this recent surge, I should say, is Brooks Baldwin got recalled. And showing some signs of life is what I'm going to say. He's hitting 276 over the last week with 2 homers, a steal, 7 RBIs.
Yeah, has been hitting well in AAA this year. A nice strikeout rate, 16%. That's up to 29 so far in the majors. So striking out a lot. That's why he's only hitting 218. But running and power, right? 3 steals, 3 for 3 on the base paths, and 5 home runs on 10 barrels. So it is a 15-team play. But Brooks Baldwin is I would say like a conditional guy. If you don't get whoever you want, just put Brooks Baldwin in for $1 or $2 at the bottom of your list. And if you get him, maybe you run into another good week or so. But I don't think long-term he's anything.
He's a stream it and forget it.
Yep.
Cleveland Guardians, they have 6 games this week, all at home, 3 versus the Road Rockies, 3 versus the Minnesota Twins, 1 lefty, 5 righties, and their leadoff hitter hit 3 home runs on Thursday out of nowhere. So what are your thoughts on the Cleveland Guardians?
Quan?
Yeah, triple donged.
Nah, who was? I thought it was
Pretty
double.
sure it's triple. It's double for sure. Let me check
Definitely
now.
double. Well, you check that. Good week for lefties for Cleveland because, like you said, it's not only the 5 righties, but it's half of the schedule is the Rockies, and even your Minnesota. It's Zebby Matthews, Joe Ryan's tough, but then Simeon Woods Richardson. So it's a really good schedule for Cleveland. I like Kyle Manzardo as a weekly stream. I even like Nolan Jones in deeper formats as a weekly stream. I think those guys are going to play a bunch this week against pretty bad pitching. So you could go there if you want to.
Yeah, 2 home runs for Quan, still 2 more than I expected for the day.
Yes.
So I'm with you on the streams though. Like Nolan Jones, we talked about him last week. He's not great, but he gets the job done. First righties right now, especially in your deeper formats. So that's definitely a stream. Manzardo, keep streaming him away. Play for the boomer bust upside there. So I'm with you on both of that. The important stuff we like to talk. What, do you have something else?
No, I just realized Nolan. You want any home runs Nolan Jones has this year in 285 plate appearances?
I'm guessing like 2,
3.
Yeah,
on 14 barrels. So like the power's okay.
I think it's, you know,
I don't know.
Yeah, his hard hit, his barrels, all that stuff. It's just he doesn't know how to pull the baseball. That's what it comes down to.
That's a problem.
The real question is Slade Cicconi's pretty much widely rostered. Gavin Williams pretty much widely rostered. Logan Allen season streaming this week versus your Rockies.
I guess, but didn't fare too well today against Baltimore, a team that also sucks against lefties. Joey Cantillo, I want to bring home. We mentioned him last week, but a typical Cantillo outing. I think he just went 5, went the minimum, got the win, but I think had like 4 walks and some Ks. And I watched some of that start. You can kind of see it. Like he's got great stuff, doesn't know where it's going all the time. So that's going to be an issue. It wasn't the minors for Cantillo, but as we mentioned, like a lot of this league is really bad against left-handed pitching. And Cantillo, I think, will get you Ks with a decent shot at wins. Next 2 matchups are at the Royals. That's this weekend. That's the that's the second half of the 2-step. But then against the Twins next weekend, who's slightly below average against lefties. So keep rolling Joey Cantillo out there.
And then he should, because they have Shane Bieber coming back the following week. He needs more rehab starts, I believe. So that gives him a White Sox start, given the White Sox are better now, but we never know if a few trades switch that up. So with you on the Cantillo love as well. 44% rostered in 12s. Detroit Tigers, 6 games this week, 3 at home versus Arizona, 3 at the Phillies, 3 lefties, 3 righties. And the Tigers have lost 10 of 11 and had Jake Rogers pitching to close out the game on Thursday.
Oh, no, they did?
God. Yeah, that boy does not have a head for a baseball hat. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah, he's one of the strangest looking individuals in the first place.
I feel like I was watching a Goonies remake. Fucking chunk on the mound.
Astoria, Oregon, by the way.
Nice.
Where it was filmed. I did not realize the Tigers had been that bad lately. They've got like the same record as the Blue Jays. They're still 8 games up.
When Clement, Loperfino, and Lucas all go deep, things are rough for Detroit today.
Still 8 games up. You've lost 10 of 11. That's bonkers. Fantasy wise, it is a tough week it's been tough weeks for Parker Meadows lately, but Colt Keith as well. Not always playing against lefties, and Detroit gets 3 of them this week. It's a somewhat tough schedule as well. So I don't like that. What I want to ask you is Troy Melton. He's the guy who was the rookie who was called up because Tariq Skubal is now a dad.
Yep. Congrats on the sex.
So you're shaking your head while I'm talking. That's never a good thing. Do you think Melton is just up for 1 start and back down?
I feel like he is. Could be wrong. That's why I was shaking my head. I don't think he sticks, but maybe they give him a shot here. I think he's just gone when Turret comes back, personally, because unless he takes Kiter Montero's spot, which is very possible. I don't think he's taking anybody else's.
Yeah, just keep an eye on it. Like gave up runs, gave up a couple homers, but struck out I think 7. Good number of whiffs, like all the kind of your CSW, like all those things, kind of like the start for Troy Melton, and some decent prospect pedigree as well. So you will most likely know what's going to happen to Troy Melton by Sunday. But if he stays in the rotation, I think is worth a modest bid given the starting pitching pool.
Man, that Tigers series against Philly, Ranger Suarez, Zach Wheeler, Christopher Sanchez. Oof.
Tough.
Like you're
Like
sitting a
you can't
lot
roll.
of
You
Tigers
can't
there.
start Cole Keith next weekend
No,
against
that's
those
bad.
two lefties.
That's a rough go for Detroit on that one. Let's go to the Kansas City Royals. They have 6 games, 3 at home versus Atlanta, 3 at the Toronto Blue Jays, 1 lefty and 5 righties for a Royals team that they're trying to get back into. Like they're trying to hang around is the best way I'll say it. So what do you have on the Royals?
Tough week for my guy Lofton. He's on the 7-day concussion IL, so hope he is okay. But I don't have too much really. The only thing, I'll go catcher here. I'll go Freddie Fermin. Started 4 of the last 5 games. While Salvador Perez, who's like the hottest hitter on the planet, has been playing a lot of DH and first base lately. So if you need a second catcher, I think Freddie Fermin's like just someone you can plug in, and he's playing more than I thought he would.
Yep, he's been a guy that forever, if he gets playing time, he's a very, very solid catcher, 2 and 15s. So 0 complaints with you on that one. If you're digging deep and ADC is not on the market, feel free to look at Fermin.
It's a deep dive, yes.
Yeah, but I see where you're going with it. Let's put it that way. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot with Kansas City because MJ Melendez is back.
I know.
It means anything. He's back. He had 13 home runs and 14 steals at like 245 at AAA. So it's same thing. Hits with some power hits, runs, can't hit for average. So yeah.
It's weird. The Royals have Luke Mail up as well. They've got 3 catchers on the roster.
Because they keep using Salvi at first base and DH more than he catches.
Yeah. Interesting.
Gotta have the backup plan.
Yeah, Salvi's on fire. Vinny P is on fire. I mentioned this every time Vinny P homers, I get it, or anytime anyone homers, I get a thing on my phone. Every time I think it's Jack Caglione, and then I met with extreme disappointment.
Yeah, what? Are you just benching Cags right now?
No, I still got him in.
Okay.
It's not great.
No, it's tough times right there. All right.
I got him in labor, which is super deep because it's unlimited IL and 15 teams. I believe I only have Cags in 1 NFBC league. I think I'm starting him there anyway. I'm not good at this game.
No, stop it. You're doing well this year. Minnesota Twins, they have 6 games this week, 3 at home versus Boston, 3 at Cleveland, 1 lefty and 5 righties for a Twins team that is pretty widely rostered these days.
Yeah, you can go with so we mentioned the Luke Keeschel rehab. I haven't seen much lately on him. I just assume he's progressing. You're still probably a couple of weeks away, but close to the point where I think you could think about stashing Luke Keeschel. I think Cody Clemens as a streamer is a decent move this week because the Twins get those 5 pitchers, and honestly, it's not the toughest slate for the Twins. My man Festa's on the IL. Ober might be coming back through 50 pitches in his last rehab. I'm ready to get hurt again. I don't think I will be picking back up Bailey Ober, but he will be picked up.
Still 84% in 12. He was picked up a lot last week when he started his rehab assignment. I know I had him in my waterfalls. It did not get any. Kind of half mad, half relieved on that one.
Yeah.
But he'll be back soon. Your boy Festa, I think he's pretty much dead on arrival for the rest of the year on that one. Like the Cody Clemens call a lot. I've been streaming him a lot in weeks like this. And more often than not, it's actually paying off when it's a heavy righty week with Cody Clemens. So digging that. The question is, keep an eye on the closing situation, folks, as Duran and Jax have both been mentioned in trade talks.
Agreed. And could be Varland. Varland could be the dark horse. Who knows? But
I like Brock Stewart. I've liked him for a long time. Varland could be a dark horse. To your point, they've utilized him late, but I think Brock is another interesting arm there. And then unless they go to the minor leagues where he's hurt.
If you're the Twins, if you deal Duran, you got to deal Jax too.
You would think so. Yes, you would think so. They'll have an easier time dealing Jax too, which makes it kind of interesting.
Yeah. But no, Louis V, man, 2.11 ERA. It's pretty damn solid. 18% strikeout minus walk. I'm shopping for some Louis.
Nothing screams giving up in the second It's the final 2 months of the year, like Louis Varland closing games.
He could be good.
Could be bad. All right, you're probably right. I'm just having to play devil's advocate here. AL West. The Sacramento Athletics, as you mentioned earlier, have 6 games all at home in that wonderful bandbox in Sacramento. It's going to heat up a little bit next week, folks. 3 versus Seattle, 3 versus Arizona, 5 righties out of those 6 games. Ryan, what stands out to you?
So I mean, I mentioned at the top, like lefty A's, just in terms of like pickups, you're not picking up Law Dog, Nick Kurtz, even Soderstrom. So not much you can actually
there is one
do there. Who Carlos Cortez?
Carlos Cortez,
your boy.
He sat the first game versus a lefty.
Did he play enough?
He played in the first game versus a righty.
Yep.
1 for 4 with a run on RBI. I watched most of that game. He actually didn't look completely overmatched at the plate. Talked about his plate skills on the last show. I'd be interested in him if we see over the weekend that he still sticks to playing versus all right-handed pitching. Be quite interested there.
I could dig that. So we mentioned Cortez and Colby Thomas at the top of the Tuesday show, and it's basically just who's going to play more. But you are correct. The most recent data point is Thomas on the bench, Cortez in against a righty on Thursday.
Yeah, but we'll see. To everyone yelling at the screens, Thomas did play the first game versus righty. They've done a lot of moving around in the outfield. Thomas played center field versus a lefty, so a lot of moving and shaking with this team. But if Cortez gets a decent run, very interested there. Anything else on the pitching side of things? I'm not overly excited about that, especially this week in that ballpark.
No. Agreed.
All right, Houston Astros, 6 games this week, 3 at home versus Washington, 3 at Boston, 2 lefties and 4 righties. Astros have about 7 pitchers coming off the IL soon, which will be full-on chaos mode. Like 4 of them are rehabbing basically each of the next 4 nights.
Like they're literally getting an additional rotation.
Yes, it's
like
insane.
very soon.
And a good run, like Arrighetti, Luis Garcia, Christian Javier. Like it's
JP France,
good pitchers. JP France, but he gives them like a long reliever. Like these are pieces that help a playoff team big time. Like these are really big non-trade but trade deadline acquisitions coming up for Houston.
Yes, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know what's going to happen. I have no idea what Houston's going to do. I'm pretty sure Ryan Gusto is not in the rotation.
He's pitching tomorrow.
I'm pretty sure he's pitching tomorrow.
He's starting on Friday. Yes. So, but then he's probably out. To your point, they're playing 13 games in 13 days, so they're using the 6th man right now.
They've got Jason Alexander in the rotation. I thought he worked for the Yankees.
He did, and he should still be sleeping under the desk after tonight's start.
Yeah, that's temporary, but like I think the question is Colton Gordon, Brandon Walter. Like obviously Hunter Brown and Valdez are safe. What happens there? I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know what's going to happen, but there's going to be like literally 8 pitchers in their rotation coming soon. So probably some type of tandem opener follower type of deal they try and do. But we'll see what that looks like.
Yeah, because I'm even looking like their bullpen. Only 2 of their relievers at this point in time have options to get out of to go down. This is right. Yes. Yeah, so Alexander Gusto gone. I'd imagine Gordon goes next, and then Walter's the 4th man on that list. Definitely worth keeping an eye on that situation. What do you got hitting wise here? Because Taylor Trammell led off the last 2 games and last 4 games he's played. He's hit leadoff for the Astros.
And I'm not there with Taylor Trammell. It's like tough. It's a career 36% strikeout rate. Like you can't do that without much power to make up for it. And 4 righties, like maybe in a 7-game all righty week or something, you go Taylor Trammell. But is Bryce Matthews widely rostered in 12?
I'll tell you right now.
Zabby,
the answer is
what?
No, 2%.
He's not rostered at all. Okay.
2%. Colson Montgomery was 4. Bryce Matthews is 2. That just shows you the time of the season, and I guess no one needs a middle infield at this point.
So I would pick up Bryce Matthews in a 12-teamer this weekend. Not just because he hit whatever, I think it was at 3 this past week.
Yep.
But seems to be pretty much locked in as the everyday second baseman, and Altuve has been switching between DH and left field. I don't see that changing. So Bryce Matthews, I think, is an awesome pickup in 12-teamers where apparently he's available everywhere.
And it's a good set of matchups. Like if you look at the matchup
Yes.
grid, it's a deceiving 16.2% K to walk, but that's because of Mackenzie Gore, Crochet, and maybe a little Soroka. Like,
and Mackenzie Gore hasn't been hot lately. Like Crochet is doing the heavy lifting in that, and then Gore hasn't been Gore lately. So yeah, the good Lord, Soroka, Bueller, and Richard Fitz are 4 of the 6. Like that's a pretty good schedule for Houston.
Great way to go about it there. And I'll shout it out again. Victor Caratini's playing pretty much every day versus right-handed pitching, either at first base, DH, or catcher. He is a really good catcher. I've had him in an OC for like a month, and it's been just fine. Like he's been really good at catcher too. So stop sleeping on that one because I don't see that changing anytime soon, honestly. Like he's going to play pretty much unless Jordan has to come back. So I don't see it changing anytime soon. That's my point.
Exactly.
All righty. Let's head to Seattle. They have 7 games this week, 3 in Sacramento, which is glorious. Then, the Angels. I skipped them.
Skip your new team here?
I was following your highlighter, so I didn't think you moved yet. The Angels, they have 6 games this week, all at home. 3 versus Texas, 3 versus the White Sox. And my goodness, it's a tough start to the week, but a really, really nice end of the week. 1 lefty and 5 righties for the Halos.
Yeah, we probably could have skipped the Angels. Like I don't see much in terms of pickups. There's just not much movement. Jorge Soler seemed to be turning things around, but then his back is flaring up. So you don't like that. You could, leading into the trade deadline, you could take a 1-week stab at Reed Detmers and see if Kenley Jansen gets traded, spend $1, see what happens. If not, dump Detmers the following week. But that's pretty much all I have for the Angels.
Yeah, and don't overspend because there's definitely a world where Detmers still doesn't become the closer.
Like that's $1. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So I agree with the spec because he's been lights out good, but there's still a world where that could royally haunt us all on that one. And more than anything, I just want to see what moves they make because Yohan Moncada gone. How does that affect the infield? You mentioned a Soler situation. Like there's a lot of moving parts. Taylor Ward finally get traded. A lot of things that could happen in this Angels team over the next week of baseball. Seattle Mariners, that team we almost talked about earlier. 7 games this week, 3 at Sacramento, 4 at home versus Texas. 3 lefties and 4 righties. The Sacramento series is 2 lefties and 1 righty, so keep that in mind. Nice
week for Seattle. They should. The offense should be good, and they should hopefully get some wins against the A's and Rangers. So yeah, we talked about Naylor at the top. Probably settles in, probably 4th or 5th in that lineup. The playing time losers there. People we aren't rostering anyway. I don't have much else, honestly. Like we'll see if Dipoto does more. Given Dipoto's track record, he probably will. Just don't know where that would be. It'd probably be another bat. Just that bottom 3 of like Luke Raley, Ben Williamson, Cole Young. That's a tough scene down there. The only other thing I have is Bryce Miller. I think still a few weeks away, but
yes.
I wouldn't get too excited, but he is throwing good BPs and the velocity's back, but I think still needs at least like 3 rehab, has not even started a rehab assignment. So I'm still cautiously optimistic there.
I'm still looking at probably late August with Bryce Miller on that one. That bars no setbacks to your trade point. I think there's a good third baseman out there that they're looking at that could
bring him back.
Fix that situation.
Suarez had some good years in Seattle.
And some not so good years, but yes, to your point. So I'd like to see it get because man, if we could start seeing J-Rod, Raleigh, Randy, Naylor, Suarez, and maybe a half healthy Polanco, that's a hell of a middle of the lineup now. Like that's really
rotation's healthy. Like I'm not saying I'm going to get my hopes up, but
Ryan might be looking to raise the Patreon fees to go to a playoff game. I'm kidding.
No.
Kidding.
We'd never do that to our loyal listeners.
No, just kidding. Texas Rangers, they have 7 games this week, all on the road. 3 at Anaheim, 4 at the Mariners, 1 lefty and 6 righties for the Texas Rangers. Another team that's playing better, but they're going to be shopping guys. Adelise is on the market. Jock's almost back, so that becomes interesting. What are you looking at with Texas?
Yeah, I was going to mention Jock. I don't know exactly when, but if he's back next week, that's a 6 righty week. So that would be a good time for Jock Peterson to.
He starts his rehab assignment tomorrow, so it could be early next week.
Yeah, it could be a quick one. Could be a weekend rehab, and then he's back. So that could be a sneaky decent pickup. Is Jock? He's UT only, isn't he?
Yes, he's UT only.
Bit of a shame. That's about all I have. Yeah, so much is going to change on the Texas roster, I think, that it's hard to really kind of predict anything. Like Josh Young is back.
Yep.
Called up playing third base. Seems like he will be.
Sit safely in all 3 games.
Sit safely in all 3 games, but it's still Josh Young. Like I'm not getting my hopes up there. But if you need playing time in deeper leagues at third base, I think he'll play. So.
Yep, 31% rostered in 12s, so he's widely available if you need third base help. Like it's a great.
And Bryce
week.
Matthews is 2%.
Yeah. Welcome to football season, Ryan.
Weird.
This is where the strong survive right about now. Yeah, Texas will have a lot of moving pieces. I like the Jock thing. If we get better news this weekend, really, really good stream this week against 6 righties in the rotation. Atlanta Braves, they have 6 games this week, 3 at the Royals, 3 in Great American Small Park, 2 lefties and 4 righties for one of the single worst offenses in all of baseball.
It's horrendous, man. And like Marcelo Ozuna from the Braves has like just totally disappeared. Like he started once the last week. Like even if the Braves were trying to trade Ozuna from the Braves and make him Ozuna from the, I don't know, Mariners or something. Like they're not even showcasing the guy. So what are we doing?
Yeah. What do you say you do here? That's the question.
Yeah. It's my question for the front office. So no, I honestly, I don't have anything. This is a dumpster fire. Acuna, like keep an eye on that. Looks like a oblique. Didn't start on Wednesday. So that's concerning. Ozzie Albies hit 2 homers this week. Michael Harris didn't.
No, he did not. To the surprise of nobody.
I hate this team, man.
It's discipline. Last year, everyone had high hopes. They didn't pan out. They're like, they'll bounce back this year. Still hasn't panned out. It's a tough go, and the pitching is maybe worse than the lineup outside of pitching. Like literally right now, it's Strider, Joey Wentz, Grant Holmes, and Bryce Elder. They're still searching for a 5th, which might be Dane Dunning for now. So,
and does Grant Holmes pitch deep into September? I doubt that.
The Spencer Strider pitch deep into September at this
point. Could be.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, honestly, let's play the game, Ryan. Let's play the game. Rich Hill, Seth Lugo, Michael Waka, Andrew Abbott, Brady Singer, Corbin Burns face them this, or not Corbin, Chase Burns. And remember also, I believe the Saturday game, Reds and Braves is in Darlington or whatever racetrack they're at this year. It's that racetrack game because they don't play on Sunday. They don't play on Sunday this week.
Bristol.
So their weekend. So Bristol. They only play 2 games on the second half of the week. So they're in Great American for I think 2 games, and then they're in Bristol for 1.
That's cool. Did you see the hats, the uniforms?
Straight up NASCAR look right there.
Whatever. Have fun with it. I don't care. Bristol will be. It actually, we'll see. I don't want to. So Virginia Tech played Tennessee there, and I know a bunch of people that went football in Bristol, and they said it was like the worst experience. You were so far away from the field because Bristol's like 200,000 people. You're so far away.
They play in the infield, and then they have the track before you could see anything.
Yeah, like they're tightening it up for baseball. They have to, but at least for the football game, they didn't do anything. They just played the game in the middle of the field, and like it was so far away from anybody that people said like it was actually like they could barely even watch a game. They just watched the jumbotron.
Yeah, no bueno.
So, anyway,
okay, let's go to a team that's hitting 282 versus righties over the last month. That's the Miami Marlins. They have 6 games this week: 3 at St. Louis, 3 at home versus the Yankees, 2 lefties and 4 righties, and this is definitely a team that will be making trades. At least make Jesus Sanchez and company. So where are you at on pickups for the week? Because I don't look. This team's looking a lot different by the end of the next week.
Yeah, and I don't really have anything in terms of pickups. Like they are hitting well, like you said. But the good Marlins are rostered, and the bad Marlins, the Liam Hicks, they're Herberto Hernandez, Graham Pauley, Dane Myers, who I for some reason has been one of the worst hitters in baseball over the last month. So. I don't have anything on Miami.
Neither do I. The New York Mets, they have 6 games this week: 3 at San Diego, 3 at home versus the Giants, 1 lefty and 5 righties. This is another team that is struggling quite a bit at the plate of late. Lindor just busted out of an over 31 slump the other day. Big Meat Pete went deep finally. This team is another one on the struggle bus, Ryan.
I'm going to go back to my guy, to Brett Beatty. He's one of the only ones hitting quite well. 5 righty week for the Mets. So Brett Beatty, who is what's his 12-teamer?
Yeah,
I'll probably be way off. It's 21%, so pretty widely rostered.
I knew it was higher than Matthews. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that Matthews number's pretty nuts, but maybe that's after all the home runs. So maybe I should give credit. I don't know. Whatever. Brett Beatty, I like as a decent ad. What else on the Mets? Like Starling Marte is back, but just kind of DHing.
Are you going to Alvarez as a catcher too? He's 80% roster now. Good Lord.
Yes, I am going Alvarez as catcher too. I think he homered on Tuesday.
He did.
And did really well in AAA, retooled some things. Yeah, and I know you're not the biggest Alvarez guy, but yes, like much more than like Freddie Fermin at your second catcher. Would you do Alvarez or ADC the rest of the season?
I do ADC.
Del Castillo over Alvarez?
Well, yes, assuming they both have playing time. Yeah. Like the ADC thing is strictly like if they play him, I will take him as like a top 12 catcher. Okay. Alvarez,
I've heard that before from you, and it was Agustin Ramirez, and that turned out well. So,
like Alvarez, I know has the skill sets. It's just never been at the big league level. So I'm at the point now where it's like prove it. I want to see it.
I know.
Him.
Yep.
So like I believe he can be good. One day he'll be good, and might change my mind on him. I'll just be wrong until he is. It's like the Vladito thing all over again with him. Yeah. Pitching wise, though. I don't really have much here because these guys are locked in for now, but there will be moving parts soon because Klay Holmes is starting to get blown up. Frankie Montas is Frankie Montas. I don't know how much longer Singo will be alive for. There's a lot of moving parts.
Rotation could be in trouble.
Yes.
Mania does look decent coming back.
Yes, lots of strikeouts.
But I think Klay Holmes is like dying.
It's slow
like
death
fantasy-wise, of course.
Yeah.
I shouldn't use that word in vain, but
yeah,
that... Yeah, man. R.I.P. to the Hulkster.
The Hulkster. Jesus. We have Ozzy in the same week. Like, what is going on around
not
here?
Great. So shouldn't use the
Stay close to your 80s idols, folks. This is not good.
Yeah, shouldn't use
James
the
Hetfield. Hide under a rock somewhere.
Oh no, don't speak that into existence. God, he's in great shape.
Dude, the Ozzy thing's wild because they just had that concert like a week before. He did a video about how they're gonna make it into this like special thing you can stream that I'm looking forward to. And then he freaking dies. Like nuts.
Yeah,
crazy stuff. But sorry. Back to your Mets pitching staff.
Yeah, speaking of death, here's the Mets pitching staff.
At least in general. And at least I mean.
I just I don't have. I mean, I would think the Mets try and add a starter, but we say that for a bunch of these teams, and there's just not that many good starters out there. So it's just going to be interesting. I don't know what they're going to do.
And that's why, like, I'm going to bring up his name, but it's why it makes sense for the Padres to like try to Dylan Cease. It makes sense for like other teams to say screw it, like. Let's get some. There's nothing else out there. Like let's see. Let's strike while the iron's hot type deal. So I can see it for sure. Philadelphia Phillies have 6 games: 3 at the White Sox, 3 at home versus Detroit, 1 lefty and 5 righties for the Fightin' Phils. A team that Ryan, what do we say? Same lineup almost every day.
Same lineup. I honestly have nothing for the Phillies.
Only
thing I'll bring up, that's right. Is Hayes. I know Ben Tidd is trying to click that drop button for Jesus Lazardo. The Discord was just up in flames after this recent Lazardo start. Is Jesus Lazardo a drop in 12s? I think in 15s you told him, but
I'm just benching right now because it's like I said in the Discord, it's like the one bad inning that blows it up. He did have 5 walks this last game, but the dude has struck out 7 guys in 5 of his last 6 starts. The Ks are there, the swing and misses there. It's just because he avoided the inning against the Giants, 7 shutout innings with 7 Ks. The Braves 5 innings, 2 earned, 7 Ks, but then 5 runs in 2 innings versus Cincinnati, 4 runs in 4 2/3 versus the Angels, and then the 6 in 5 innings versus Boston. It's tilting. I get it, but the skills are still very much there. So I bench because it's like the point I made in the chat with Sonny Gray. People complaining about that is. You tell me a guy that's on your waiver wire has better talent than those guys.
Like you're all, exactly.
They don't exist. Like you can go stream a guy, like go stream Dean Kramer, see if it works. But like long term, I'll go to battle with the guy struggling right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I get it. We're at that point of the season where you can't wait too much longer. So that's why it's a valid point, valid conversation. Yep. I get it. And every roster spot's important. But like if you're still in the I can stash a guy mode, I'm still trying to stash a Jesus Lazardo as long as possible.
But not start.
Not starting right now. That's
if you can.
If you can avoid the start now, if you need to start someone, then you probably are dropping him. That's just the reality of it. Because let's just get even deeper into the weeds here.
But dude, his next starts against the White Sox. I know White Sox are good lately, but
then he double dips against Baltimore and Texas, which on paper is not bad. But
you like that for lefties? Yes, you like that.
In reality,
I don't know, man.
I'm probably starting him in all three of those, man. Because as good as the White Sox, as good as the White Sox are hitting, like I said earlier, they're still striking out a bunch.
And they may not have a team by this start.
That's the other part. So I bench him and
we're back.
We're back, baby. We're back. Yeah. Woo. Little Lazardo therapy right there. Yep. We'll reconvene next week after the White Sox start.
Yep. We'll be here next week saying our name and why we're here.
Oh, man. All right. And Philadelphia might have a new closer by next week, too. They've been actively on the closing market for trades, so keep that in mind also. Washington Nationals, they have 6 games coming up, 3 at Houston, 3 versus Milwaukee, 3 lefties, 3 righties, which pretty much tells me nothing.
Yeah, I mean, for me with the Nationals, it's more like guys not to play. Like Josh Bell's been hot lately, but I don't think you can start him in a 3-game week against righties. Luis Garcia is widely rostered. He's barely starting against righties. Started today against a lefty.
Dude, don't get me started on that. The Garcia playing time is even worse than I expected now.
It's bizarre, but like Luis Garcia is a tough start next week.
Yeah, he is.
So,
like, we talk about the easy ones, like the Lazardos of the world and stuff, but Luis Garcia is hitting .261 with 7 homers and 9 steals. Like, Gene Segura, what?
Yeah, it's been rough.
Like, you could look. He's even. I wouldn't argue someone dropping him in a 12
because the playing time's intermittent too. Yeah. It's just like
would you rather have, if it's just MI? I'll say MI, not segways. Would you rather have Colson Montgomery, Bryce Matthews, or Luis Garcia Jr.?
I mean, old man me is going to say Luis Garcia Jr. because he's done it, but like, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Bryce Matthews. I still wouldn't go Colson Montgomery. I could see the Bryce Matthews case.
Yeah, I could see both, honestly, because at least they're playing every day. That's already a plus. Yep. And this is where the 12 mindset versus the 15. Like the 12, you're shooting for the stars right now. That's what you're shooting for at this point in the year. So,
and then you're me, and you're still starting, Michael Harris. So it's the bad mindset.
It's crazy how bad Luis Garcia has been this year. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to rethink that come Sunday on some of my teams if I need to really stick with that one, because he is one of my Gene Seguras, like hardcore one of my Gene Seguras. That's an interesting predicament with 2 months to go. All right, let's go to the NL Central. The Chicago Cubs, they have 6 games this week, 3 at Milwaukee, 3 versus the Baltimore Orioles, 2 lefties and 4 righties for the Cubs, who are so darn good. What do you have here?
They are so darn good. So yeah, I don't have too much outside of Matt Shaw. Just want to shout him out. 47% owned in NFBC 12-team leagues. I think has 3 home runs this week, hitting 474 over the last week. So obviously just a heater, but you never know when things are going to click for a prospect like this, their second, third time up or whatever. So just throwing that out there. And again, the playing time has been there for Matt Shaw, deservedly so recently. I think Matt Shaw at third base is a nice grab to see how long this hot streak at least lasts.
Yeah, I can see that as a potential streaming option. But okay, I'm going to keep throwing this out there, and you're eventually going to tell me just to shut up, which is fine. But if Colson Montgomery gets third base, do you want Montgomery or Shaw? I'm just asking because, like, this is a legit question to me.
Do you have a poster of Colson Montgomery like above your bed?
No, but he's hitting really well right now, and I know it's a 1-week thing possibly. The swing and miss is so bad, but Shaw hasn't been a pitcher of freaking beauty either, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I'd go Shaw.
Okay, just want to throw these scenarios out there. No, we'll probably get a private Discord message about these later on, so I'm trying to get it aired out.
Maybe I'm being too hard on Colson.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you to lighten up, old man.
2 homers hitting 275. You bring them up every team, so
because there's a bad player you want to roster instead. So I want to go bad player versus bad player and see what we have.
That's touche.
All right, let's go to the Cincinnati Reds, who play 6 games this week, 5 at home and 1 in Bristol. 1 lefty, 5 righties. Like, God, that's going to be so confusing. And a reminder, like I said already, The final 2 games of the week are Friday and Saturday. So only have 2 games on the second half of the week, which for the Braves should be noted as well. We didn't note that earlier. So keep that in mind for the Braves and the Reds. Only 2 games on Friday and Saturday. No Sunday game for either. But with 1 lefty, 5 righty, Ryan, what do you like with Cincinnati?
I'll in the theme
Right.
of bringing up bad players, I'm going to bring up
Gavin Lux, Jake Fraley. Which
Jake
one are we going
Fraley,
with here? Yeah.
So Will Benson's not playing anymore. Jake Fraley has taken that job from Will Benson.
Yep.
Dude, Jake Fraley's hitting 257.
Balling.
He's bad. I don't know. I'm not going to recommend Jake Fraley, but he's at least playing and they're at home. Like, I like that. The problem is it's Ohtani, Yamamoto. Does Snell make that start? That's what Fangraphs says.
Maybe.
So it could be an all-righty week. It could be an all-righty week for Cincinnati. Yeah. So I have no idea what the Bristol park factors will be.
Dude,
I'll wait.
Dunning starts in Bristol. Good Lord. Yeah. Because it's going to be hot and humid as hell down there. Like, that ball should fly.
It's not going to be good.
He will be done in baseball. Yes. On that note, the Milwaukee Brewers, the team with the best team in record in baseball, play 6 games this week. 3 at home versus the Cubs, 3 at the Washington Nationals. One of the better hitting weeks all around. But it's 3 lefties and 3 righties, Ryan. 2 lefties to start the week, 1 lefty to finish the week, if that helps anybody. What do you like here?
I don't really like much on the hitting side.
Come on.
What? Joey Ortiz?
Andrew Vaughn?
I don't know, man. I mean, yeah. No, I get that is a good call, especially the 3 lefties.
Yeah, he's playing versus lefties and righties because Jake Bauer's on the IL. This is his job right now.
Oh, that's right. I missed that. Good call. I stand corrected. I like the Vaughn move.
You're welcome.
When did Bauer go on the IL?
Last
couple
week.
Days ago.
God. Yeah, like Friday or something like that.
Shouldn't have asked. I was hoping you'd say like today.
Today, yeah. No, he's about halfway through his stint on the IL. If you really want to get technical about it, I just want to throw it out there.
Back next week.
Yeah, he'll be back middle of the week just to screw it all up.
Oh God!
I want to throw it out there. 8 hours ago on Twitter, the Milwaukee Brewers tweeted out, "What an addition!" ! With an image that says King Vaughn with Andrew Vaughn with a crown and a cape. Since joining the Brewers, he's hitting .290 with a .943 OPS.
King Vaughn, we can do something there. I like the Vaughn pickup. I'm gonna, especially with Bowers on the IL. It's just a great move. Who's coming back from the IL is Nestor Cortez.
Nasty Nestor, baby.
So I believe made his today, Thursday
should be his last rehab start. Yep,
should be his last rehab start. So, what do we think of Nestor going forward? B, who does he bump from the rotation? Or do they go 6-man? Because they do have to bump Quintana, which I don't think they're doing, or Priester, that I don't think they're doing.
No, you're not doing either one of those. Looking at the rotation, I could see it's got to be a 6-man, which would make sense since they want to limit Woodruff and Miz's innings.
Right.
So that makes
throw
sense.
Woodruff in the Miz like 4 innings or something with Cortez
off the IL.
Yeah, something like
you
that.
could totally limit things. 6-man makes a lot of sense, especially for a team that needs pitching for the postseason, which we talked about on Tuesday. I'm interested in Cortez, though. I really am, because the other options, not great. He's looked good in rehab, and I know that's not the end-all, be-all, but he looks better in rehab right now than in spring training. Let's put it that way. So, with other options on the waiver, I'd be curious to put some bids in on Cortez. Don't think I'd start him versus the Cubs this week, but I'd be like, he's 44% rostered. If you want him, you're gonna have to get him this week and stash him. So that's where I'd go.
Would you go Quinn Priester? We have a question in the chat from Dr. Doom. Would you go Quinn Priester or Lucas Giolito?
It's Priester for me. Priester's been outstanding.
Priester has been, so the last month for Quinn Priester with some and this isn't just arbitrary stuff, like some changes to his arsenal. 2.35 ERA, 2.67 expected ERA by Baseball HQ, 23% K- walk, tons of whiffs. Like Quinn Priester's been awesome lately. So I would go Priester over Giolito. Yeah,
I'm with you there. They're doing some magical things there in Milwaukee with that pitching staff. All righty, let's talk Pittsburgh Pirates. They have 6 games on the road this week, 3 at the Giants, 3 at the Colorado Rockies and Coors. Really good week for them, especially to finish the week. As you mentioned earlier, 1 lefty and 5 righties for Pittsburgh. So go get your Tommy Pham and hope they don't put Jack Sawinski in over him like a bunch of dum-dums.
Right. Yeah, especially next weekend, the Coors trip is just awesome. So do what you can with your Pirates in spots. I always like Nick Gonzalez. He has admittedly not done too much here, but yeah, Tommy Pham would be a decent move. Even like Brian Hayes hasn't been half bad lately. So
even McCutcheon, he's util only, he's 1% rostered. Like for the Coors series alone, he had a home run already like a couple days ago.
Yeah,
he's hitting at top of the order. Like Spencer Horwitz, it sounds real bad, but like almost all these guys are in play for next weekend.
I mean, McCutcheon has like a 10% barrel rate, 20% K rate. Like it's actually not that bad.
No.
So, yeah, decent. If again, this is more deep league in my opinion, but yeah, decent options on the Pirates. Mostly just given the schedule next week.
For just stream them for a couple bucks. Simple in, out, drop on Sunday night, move on type situations.
And then just real quick, I would maybe throw a buck or two a Reed Detmers type bid on Dennis Santana in case David Bednar gets traded. Santana himself might get traded, but I just don't see like a third guy in that bullpen that's worth, going after. So I'd just spec on Santana and hope it works out. If not, drop him and move on.
Fair enough. St. Louis Cardinals, they have 6 games this week, 3 at home versus Miami, 3 at the Padres, all righties on tap to face the Lou. Problem is it's the same dudes over and over again, but anything stand out to you?
I was going to go to the rotation, right? Because
yes,
Fetty was
Fetty
DFA'd. Fetty out. And Michael McGreevy is in. I'm actually not like super high on McGreevy. Like I think he's okay. I've seen some things that like he's really good, and I don't know. The Cato walk at AAA looks for 78 strikeouts, 15 walks in 75 innings at AAA. Gets ground balls, so I like that. It's 54% ground ball weight for McGreevy at AAA. Biggest thing for me though, did not miss bats in AAA. So the minor league leaderboard has a 10% swinging strike for McGreevy at AAA. And maybe he's just working on pitches in AAA and not really trying to miss bats. I don't know. I just know a 10% whiff rate in AAA is not going to translate well in the big leagues. So that's my biggest concern with McGreevy.
We'll say he gets San Diego next week, and they are horrible right now, hitting 202 versus righties with a 73 WRC plus. So I could see the streaming aspect to that. I do like him as a potential like a bench streamer for the rest of the way, but I also agree with your point. I don't see him being like this God's gift to pitching that a lot of people are claiming at the same time. So I'm with you, and I'm also like, okay, I could see him being viable. There's maybe 8 more starts this year from him. I could see me starting him 5 times, 6 times, probably.
Yeah,
depending on matchups. Like there's
to
something
be fair,
there.
like I think a lot of the like drooling over McGreevy is long term, right? Like over his career, and I'm just talking the next 2 months here. So,
all right, which closer do you want when Helsley's traded?
Yeah, good point. We should probably discuss that. I've always been a big Phil Maton guy. I think that's who would step in. But Jojo Romero, I believe, has saved stuff before.
He has in the past. Yes, he has.
So that could be an option. I think it sounds like Helsley is gone.
He flat out said 90% chance he's out of here. I'm like, well, he's either traded or he's just piecing out. One of the two, because he seems like he has given up on this one.
But I think you spec on Phil Maton. 2.48 ERA, 21% strikeout minus walk, missing a ton of bats, good ground ball rate. I just think he has the skills to be a pretty damn good closer.
Yeah, I'm with you. He's showcased those skills. So it's interesting. JoJo could make it interesting as well. They do have other options, but not a standalone like lights out. It's not like Giovanni Gallegos sitting there in years past.
What
that you're going to go pick up, stuff like that. NL West, the team that they might go full Miami Marlins this year, where the Marlins traded like 8 of their starting 9 on one day. Arizona's trying to do that in like a week. They have 6 games this week. The bright side is the home crowd does not have to see this new team for a week.
They're gone. They're on the road.
3 at Detroit, and someone's going to get traded and be happy because they get 3 in Sacramento. So they're going to come to the bandbox when they're done. 2 lefties and 4 righties for Arizona. And again, this team could be.
Yeah. I don't even. I mean, we spent time at the top talking Tawa and Adrian Del Castillo.
He's 28% rostered.
I don't think there's anything else to talk about because so much is going to happen that we don't know. Like, honestly, if Randall Grichuk is becomes an everyday player just because Arizona has nobody left, maybe they trade Grichuk himself. I don't know. But that could be interesting. Randall Grichuk's posted some really good skills, but mostly against lefties this year. But outside of that, man, your guy Ginkel down his leg, to use your term, on Wednesday, took the loss. It's not great.
Yeah, I'm just looking at their roster. Like, Eugenio gone. Lourdes could be gone. Merrill Kelly could be gone. Zach Gallen. Oh, my God. This is bad. Like, beyond bad.
Yeah.
Buckle up, folks. Sorry for you, Arizona Diamondbacks fans.
Yeah.
Colorado Rockies, they have 6 games this week, 3 at Cleveland, 3 at home versus Pittsburgh, 2 lefties, 4 righties for the Rocky Mountain High. What do you like here?
I mean, we'll just keep going back to Mickey Moniak,
hey,
right?
Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Sorry. Yes.
Heard that. I've heard that chant before from the infamous Bobby Miller stream. That
works out well. That was legendary. I had to go back and watch that. That was good times right there.
That was good. Moniak is 79% owned in OCs, so maybe
Smart
that ship has sailed. I don't know much else in terms of the Rockies. What we're doing here, Brenton Doyle's not playing every day, which is
that's
concerning. I don't know what's going on there.
That's really concerning because we for a while they were talking about the underlying metrics, the personal problem. Now he's just not playing. Like, Moniak's playing in his spot when he sits.
Yeah.
Like, Moniak's locked in every day.
That is absolutely an issue.
I'll say, Ryan McMahon is rumored to be traded for sure by the deadline. Basically, I think they're waiting for Suarez to go, or he'll go before Suarez for cheaper just to get rid of him. So there'll be a new third baseman in Colorado.
Mariners, that'd be good for Mariners. It wouldn't cost much. It'd be terrible for Ryan McMahon.
It's so bad. It'd be worse than you expected, yes.
God.
So that'll be a new situation to keep an eye on. But yeah, other than that, I don't have a lot. Like, Mickey's the guy I want this week if he's available for you. Everybody else, it's not ideal.
Agreed.
At least Hunter Goodman's played 5 games in a row. That's a plus.
Yeah, he's back. He's back playing every day. That was sketchy for a while, as Doc Luke would tell us.
Yes, indeed. The Los Angeles Dodgers. 6 games this week, 3 at Great American, 3 at Tampa. What a week for the Dodgers. My God. The two bandboxes. Maybe that'll wake up this offense. 1 lefty and 5 righties for the Dodgers. What do you like in here?
I don't know. I don't think there is much
Michael
to like.
Conforto, stream.
Perhaps 2 good. Yeah, 5 righties and 2 good lefty park. So you could go Conforto, could go Hyun-Sung Kim. Seems to be playing regularly at second base. So you could go there. But that's it. I'd love to see, this is random as hell, I'd love to see Asterio Luis play more regularly. He could be a freaking beast. I know when he runs like crazy, but the playing time's just not there.
It was so great in the Discord. Someone goes, "Did I just see Asterio Luis hit a home run right now?" I'm like, yes, you did.
Yeah, that's some pop, dude. I
remember when I wrote about him in one of the last spring training AL West PT tomorrows as an option because he was crushing it in spring, and then they freaking whatever. I'm not going to go any farther. The A's have done a lot of things that are questionable, like move to Sacramento. So, anything else with the Dodgers? Is their revolving door closer with Tanner Scott out now?
That's the other thing I was going to bring up is closer. Trying and back. We talked about it on Tuesday, but I'm avoiding it, and maybe I shouldn't because this is going to be a source of saves. I just don't know what that pie is going to look like.
Vesia blew the save. I figured he'd get some chances. He's had chances before. They got Alexis Diaz back.
Yeah,
he's back.
He's back.
Man. And it actually makes sense, weirdly enough, on this team.
It does.
It does make sense. So, if you want to throw a buck on him, I'll make fun of you, but I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. Let's put it that way.
Agreed.
So I can see it.
Would you throw a buck on him over Detmers? And I like Matan more than
I like Matan more as well. But I could see Diaz closing over Detmers. There's just something about the Detmers situation that feels like they don't want him to close, as weird as that feels.
Even Dennis Santana, I don't know. Yeah, I'd throw a buck at Alexis Diaz, see what happens.
Diaz is a viable shekel or 2, for sure. San Diego Padres, they have 6 games this week, all at home. 3 versus the Mets, 3 versus the Cardinals, 2 lefties and 4 righties. For I already mentioned a team that is on the hardcore struggle bus right now. And they're rumored to be trading for people, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we shall wait and see. But no, at least with the lineup, they roll the same exact lineup out every single day, as we've probably said way too often this season. And the rotation as well. Like there's not much movement there. You Darvish did not look so hot today in steamy St. Louis. So I don't know. I don't have anything as usual on the Padres. Pretty boring.
There was a rumor out there, and again, all this trade stuff is rumors, so that's why we're just speculating for your FAAB, that they said the only likely reliever traded from San Diego will be Robert Suarez. That was the quote I saw. I believe it was Ken Rosenthal or one of them that said it. It wasn't passing. But if Robert Suarez is out, like it feels like it's a Jason Adam world, but Morejon's been awesome. Yep. So like I'd probably go Morejon behind Matan, because at worst you're getting great ratios and strikeouts. Could be
matchup space between those two as well, righty lefty. So
yeah, keep that one on your radar as well, folks. All right, wrap it up here with the San Francisco Giants. 3 at home versus Pittsburgh, 3 at the Mets, 2 lefties and 4 righties, and they seem like they woke up, but they also faced an Atlanta pitching staff, so we'll have to wait and see how that one pans out.
Your guy Birdsong, RIP, back in the minors.
Peace.
Lineup wise, I don't know. I mean, can we say Yastrzemski again? It's only a 4-game ready week, so I don't.
You can't.
Yeah, I don't.
No.
I don't like it. Outside of that, Willie Damas is turning it around. Giant Willie's coming back.
Yeah, he's 100% roster as he should be. But for those that hung on and stayed strong, dude is crushing baseballs. And he's walking a ton. He's not stealing, which was the big concern leaving the Brewers, but everything else is starting to come back to reality for Big Willie Adames. Same with Rafi since the All-Star break and the 3 games since the break. He looks normal, played a game at first base. So that's a plus as well. Like the talent's here to make a run. Even Chappie was playing well. We'll see how his elbow's doing. X-rays were negative on that.
Keeps getting hit. But no, your boys are in position to at least.
They might make another trade. So
yeah, we'll see.
It's one of those. I'd like to actually see them go trade for Ryan O'Hearn and Charlie Morton, get them both from Baltimore, because O'Hearn can play first instead of Dom Smith, and then you put Morton in the pen there. That's a move I would not mind at all.
Absolutely, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, fits the team perfectly.
Exactly.
All right, that'll wrap up the weekly schedules. Anything you'd like to add to that before we move on to a little bit of a top free agent risers and fallers?
Let's do the free agent risers. Not much this week. Again, we are in dog days, but this is our Fantrax top risers. I'll read through the list, see if we missed anyone or if anyone's interesting to us. John Rave, up 3%, up to 5% rostered in Fantrax leagues. Mickey Moniak up 2%. Angel Martinez, we did not bring up 2%. Brett Beatty up 2%. Bryce Matthews, I guess that's my guy, up 1%. Matt Shaw, and then Miguel Vargas. I think those last 2 guys pretty widely rostered.
Where's Colson Montgomery? I was kidding.
Yeah,
I had to.
Would you take any of these guys over Colson Montgomery? Is the question I need.
I take Mickey Moniak for sure. Yes.
God, you actually answered it. Jesus.
I know. I had to mess with you. It's all part of the game we have here.
I guess, we didn't talk about Angel Martinez, but I talked
about him a lot last week.
Yeah, I see that 4% barrel rate. I just don't think there's much pop, but he's playing every day and like hitting second. So
he's a floor 15 team play that it's hard to see the 12 team appeal.
Well put. Pitcher side. Kirby Yates.
Yeah, he got that blown save already in first time.
Highest riser. Yeah, I'm just assuming Fantrax folks thinking with Scott on the IL that Yates gets a bigger share of saves. We shall see. Davis Daniel, never Davis Daniel. Patrick Corbin is rising. Who does Patrick Corbin face? Is actually he's running pure.
He just struck out 7 last night, and I had to remind the chat about that. And then we'll talk about him in the 2 steps this week against the Angels and
Mariners on the road.
It's glorious. And the following week against the Phillies. Like, let's go.
Kolek. Colin Ray is falling back. Connor Pilkington, just not sure that's a real person. And then
that's like, was he in the Revolutionary War or a major league pitcher?
Yeah. Yeah, and then Quinn Priester's the last riser. So very little movement this week on Fantrax, and a symptom of dog days, but also so far this week, there hasn't been much movement. That's going to change a ton over the weekend.
Yep. After the trades, fun will begin.
Yep.
Let's talk two steps because these will definitely be the same after all the trades. So we'll have something to talk about here. Arizona Diamondbacks, Erod at Detroit at the A's.
No, but Erod's been half decent. That's just a tough two-step.
Well, Detroit's actually worth streaming against right now. It's the at Sacramento.
The at Sacramento worries me. So I don't know, maybe in 15s, but I'd pass if I can.
I'm at that point of the year where it's tougher and tougher to do this. JP Sears versus Seattle versus Arizona, probably not.
No.
Yeah. Not even going to say the next one. Dane Dunning, no. Zach Eflin versus Toronto at the Cubs. Eflin returned from the IL in his last start. 5 innings, picked up no decision with giving up 2 runs.
Yeah, looked pretty good, honestly. This is a very tough two-step, though. Toronto's on fire. Cubs are on fire. I would, if you have to in 15, sure, it is 2 starts, but like this could be ratio disaster for Eflin.
It is by far not an auto start, to your point.
No.
This is the kind of stuff where I'd rather at this point of the year go find like an Adrian Morejon or someone and pitch them, try to get 3 outings.
Hell, if like Dustin May is a follower again or something, I don't know. Maybe a bad example, but
I get your point though for sure. Dick Fitz at Minnesota versus Houston. No. He's been so bad.
Yeah, I'd say no.
Yeah, no. Matthew Boyd, yes. Chase Burns versus the Dodgers versus Atlanta. So at Great American and at Bristol. He's been going to have a lot of runs to go with all those strikeouts.
That's right. Burns at Bristol. Yeah, I would do it. I mean, the dude is – the ratios haven't been there, but the stuff looks awesome.
Flames in Bristol. It's going to be – you can do all kinds of stuff with that. Slade Ciccone versus Colorado versus Minnesota. That's a yes.
That's a yes.
Mookie Blaylock at Cleveland versus Pittsburgh. That's just his name from now on, Ryan.
Yeah, Mookie Blaylock. I'd actually rather start the actual Mookie Blaylock than whoever this Mookie Blaylock is.
Mookie still alive? I want to say no.
Tricky. We got to look it up. You know, it's always tough. You bring back these old legends and you're like,
half the listeners
still alive.
No idea. Okay, half the listeners have no idea what we're talking about, too.
Mookie Blaylock is still alive. Real name is Darren.
What? What? No, it's Mookie. That's what his basketball card said. There's no chance. No. So no start there. Davis Martin versus Philly at the Angels.
No.
I'm with you. Casey Mize versus Arizona at Philadelphia.
Yes, because that could be a shell of an Arizona team. Casey Mize has not looked that hot lately. So it's certainly not an auto start, but given the matchups, I would still do it.
The Arizona start is so attractive to your point. But it's very, very scary. Again, to your point, has not been good. I will throw out Davis Martin in his 2 starts since getting recalled. He's allowed 4 runs and 3 runs. He has 8 Ks and 6 walks over 11 innings. Like, people like the skill set a lot, but it is not. Maybe it's a guy to watch for future. Maybe he starts figuring it out, but to your point, not for this week.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. Framber Valdez, yes. If Maderos pitches, no. Edward Cabrera at St. Louis versus the Yankees, yes.
God. Yeah, I would do it. But it's tough matchups. But yeah, Edward Cabrera's
Yankees aren't that tough right now.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. So yeah, I'd roll Cabrera, yes.
If Cortez comes back, the Brewers technically have no 2 steps. If Cortez does not come back, it looks like it's the Miz versus the Cubs versus at Washington. Just keep that in mind, everybody.
Okay.
You're starting them either way, but just throw that out there. Yeah. Minnesota, Simeon Woods Richardson versus Boston at Cleveland.
Ooh, this is tough because this is someone you're probably thinking of picking up for a 2-step if you need.
He's throwing well lately.
He's like, throwing a little bit.
Better. He's throwing better.
Yeah, I'd probably try in a 15. I hold my nose big time.
Yeah, if you're looking at SWR, it's 3 runs, 1 run, 0, 1, 0, 3, 0. So it's like 6 starts with 3 runs or less.
Any Ks though?
It's 4-3, 6-3, 4-3-2. That's his strength.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem. I don't know, man.
Bayo's better. Brian Bayo's better than that right now.
Colson Montgomery's better than that right now.
Way better. Like, would you pick up Colson Montgomery or Sammy Richardson two-step? Yeah. Bryce Matthews. New York Mets, Frankie Montas at San Diego versus the Giants.
Yeah. Yep. I would do that.
I think you do for sure. Yankees, Max Fried versus Tampa at Miami.
Auto.
Would you start Luis Gil if he gets the two-step?
Against Tampa and at Miami?
Yeah, I don't think I do.
I would not. No.
Yeah, I would not either. Christopher Sanchez, oh, hell yeah. Mitch Keller at the Giants at Colorado, assuming he's still a Pittsburgh Pirate. I don't think he will be.
Don't think he will be, but yes, you throw that.
If Dylan Cease is still a Padre, you get versus the Mets versus St. Louis. You're still starting Dylan Cease, even though it's not been ideal.
Agreed.
Seattle, Luis Castillo at the A's versus Texas. Same. What about Logan Evans?
Evans did pitch well tonight against the Angels.
He's another good pitcher without strikeouts. He fits that lump again.
He does. The at A's scares me. No, I would not do Logan Evans.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it either. Not this week. He will be a spot start from time to time, but not this week. Landon Roop, you're starting for sure versus Pittsburgh and at the Mets. Roop's been awesome. Andre Palante versus Miami at San Diego.
Oh, God. Ground ball machine. No, I wouldn't do it.
Drew Rasmussen at the Yankees versus the Dodgers.
God. And then at Seattle next. That's tough. Yeah, you do it, but you just hope.
Would you do Joe Boyle at the Yankees versus the Dodgers?
No, I don't think he'd be stretched out enough.
Yeah, but still, what if it's basically, say you get 7 total innings out of that?
Yeah, maybe 10 Ks. Who knows what the ratio is, but yeah, maybe. I don't know.
You just already accept the fact wins are not happening, but the rest of it could be interesting. Texas, you're starting DeGrom for sure, and you're obviously starting Patrick Corbin at the Angels and at Seattle.
Obviously. I would, honestly.
Yes. Yeah, he's being converted, folks. You heard that tone.
No, I'm shaking my head. Like, this is terrible.
Chris Bassett at Baltimore versus Kansas City.
Seabass.
He's been such a tough start, man, because he either gets blown up or
he either gets nuked or he's really good. But on the whole, he's been good this season. Yes, yeah. I would do Seabass. Yep.
The good Lord at Houston versus Milwaukee.
You know, I hate to go against the good Lord, but even on Sunday, I can't do it with Brad Lord.
You'll be in the next South Park episode, apparently. All right. That wraps us up. Team by team, 2 steps, the works, Ryan. Any final thoughts? Week 19, final FAAB period before the deadline is complete.
Yeah, no, we can end it with a South Park reference. That's good.
Yep, that's how we do things around here. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. You can check out Ryan on Twitter at RyanBHQ, the podcast at Bubba Bloom Pod, patreon.com/Bubba Bloom. I'm at BD Entrick. Schedule will be a little different next week, so keep an eye out for that. But until next time, this was Bubba and the Bloom episode 263. Catch y'all later.